Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our WCTV Game of the Week. I am Paul Breece, along with my new broadcast partner, Doug Capella, on his maiden voyage here at Franklin High School as the Rebels host the Page Patriots in a non-region contest. Did I say Rebels?
You did, Paul, you did.
That is going to be one on the air page for me. And we'll get going here. We'll kind of get things going. And as we see here, the short kickoff return by number 37, Franklin High. He is brought down.
Solid return there.
Absolutely.
Found a seam up the middle, takes it to the Page, about 46-yard line.
That was Kia Hamilton. So again, Franklin Admirals coming off a loss last week to a perennial powerhouse in Riverdale Warriors across down to Murfreesboro. And the Page Patriots, what was our WCTV Game of the Week last week, coming off a big victory on the Battle of 840 against Fairview High School, 28-22. So after this play, Doug, we'll get your thoughts as we see Jake Dunn at the quarterback here for the Admirals. And the quick handoff to 44 right there. That's going to be Rocco Pinea. So, Doug, what can we expect? I mean, we obviously want to see the Rebels, the Admirals, there we go, error number 2, the Admirals. From a perspective of a bounce-back situation here, just want to see what they can do, right?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Franklin's got a relatively young new head coach over there, not a stranger to the district, but certainly new around Franklin. And so he will be tested early to see how his Admirals can rebound after last week.
Very good. So you're 1 for 1. I think I'm 1 for 3 on the Admirals call. It's hard to know when you've been a Rebels for a while. And a quick handoff again.
Page stuffs that. Minimal gain.
So after a great kickoff return by Kia Hamilton, that is 2 runs by Rocco Pinea. And now we're going to expect here, Doug, a 3rd and 6. What do you got in the playbook?
Well, I would definitely look out to the flat and see for a quick pass or perhaps a screen here out of this situation, but maybe look for, well, I don't know, Paul. We'll see what they got.
Well,
I would see something to the outside.
And I'll tell you what, we're looking right here at the Admirals trying to convert a first down. This is going to be huge for them to try to keep this drive going. Dunn rolling right. He's going to look out in the flats like you talked about. Incomplete, knocked down. Batted pass intended for number 16 right there. That's going to be Cooper Brown. And that is a 3-and-out unfortunate situation for the Admirals.
Well, and Paul, his route was about 1.5 yards short anyway. So even if he completes that, they are short on downs there. So that is going to bring us to a punt situation. So Paul, the weather tonight is beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Good night for football.
Absolutely.
For sure.
That's one of the things at Friday Night Lights in Williamson County we enjoy and soak it in now.
Because we're gonna be soaked next week.
Apparently so. So we'll have a 4th down punt here.
The punt is up and looks like he's gonna let it roll. Good punt from Franklin. That was
Owen Saltmarsh, the kicker.
Dribbles down to about the 7-yard line.
Yep. And that was Gage Wilson downing the play. Now, Page Patriots dawning again. I proclaimed them the best looking uniforms in the county. Just sole vote, right?
This may be the alternate to their alternate
That's
uniforms.
Right. Going with the Ohio State look tonight. So we'll see right here. Obviously, 3-star quarterback Jake McNamara not playing tonight. It's going to be Colin Hurd. If you watched this last week, Doug, you know that Colin Hurd can get the job done.
It's a quick pass out to the 5, and he is hammered at the 2-yard line. Helmet is on the field.
So a quick out, like you talked about, is going to be Gephardt, and quickly brought down by McCloskey, number 7. And we'll see the Page offensive starter, Hurd, Eric Hazard, the running back, and I think Page would love to get the ground game going. Mayer, Collins, Smith, and Gephardt you saw right there, but the guys up front, O'Connell, Rainey, Sachs, Ashman, and Leaner.
Paul, this close to your end zone, those quick passes can be a risky proposition. Scrambling in the end zone. Incomplete to the outside to number 12, Boyce Smith.
So a great defensive start here for the Admirals as the Patriots are going backwards. And so the thing we may want to recognize right here is week one last week, a lot of penalties came up. This week, I'm sure both teams would like to bring that together. A lot of turnovers by the Admirals. They had 5, actually, so kind of shot themselves in the foot. So we'll see Dunn here.
Dunn rolls left, goes right.
Yep.
Comes to the outside, and it is incomplete. Franklin has initially won the battle of field position here.
So Kia Hamilton on the defense right there. And we've called his name out already a few times. So now, punt formation, Admirals back to return is going to be number 16, Cooper Brown.
We'll see if Franklin has some kind of block in here. The punter has a shallow end zone. Is there?
Dangerous position, right?
Dangerous position for sure. It looks like they have the punt block in. It's coming from the outside. Ooh, it was close.
So Brown's going to have a chance to pick it up.
Picks it up at the 43-yard line, goes up the middle, and he's taken down after about a gain of 4 to 5 yards on the return. So the Admirals, Paul, best case scenario right there.
Absolutely.
Quick 3 and out, short field.
Right. We'll talk about the battle of field position. And when you're a team that put 0 points on the scoreboard last week in your opening game, field position can definitely help, especially good field position.
So this is the second drive in a row where they're going to start off in opposition territory. Let's see if they can come away with any points this time.
So Dunn back in a quick handoff. Again, off the left tackle. Going to be churning for more yards. That is Jackson Modell, the senior.
Jackson Modell looks like he's picked up about 7.
And we would be remiss if we did not mention, why do they keep running over left tackle? Well, you got a Fisher Anderson, the left tackle for Franklin, number 74 on your screen, 6'5", 280, and heading to Stanford.
So he is the whole package, as we might say, Paul. He's got the brains and the brawn if he's a Stanford Cardinal.
Absolutely. Again, another.
So we're running again. Jackson Modell, he has a first down.
And I would call that a much-needed first down, a positive play, and that's what the negative plays last week against Riverdale just were not great. As again, we go back to the 5 turnovers that Coach Melton adamantly stated with his young team here. Graduated a lot of players and a lot of offensive weapons, so just trying to find a little glimmer here.
So Franklin is not appearing to adjust offensive formation at all. They've got 2 wide receivers left, a single receiver right, and again it's Modell, which looks eerily similar to the last 2 plays they've run.
Modell on the carry.
So not a surprising offensive start from Franklin, right? They want to shorten the game up with some time possession here. They're not a quick strike offense, right? And
well,
the closer they keep this game, right, the shorten it up.
Right, the clock matters here, Paul, and if they can eliminate minutes with these runs, it puts them in the game against Page, who can score points.
So second and about 7, 6:50 and counting in the first quarter. As Dunn continues in the shotgun. Going to be a rollout keeper
design. It's a direct
design.
run to Dunn, design play, and he is bottled up for what looks to be maybe a minimal gain, maybe even a loss of a yard.
Well, in some of those design runouts, Doug, I think that sometimes you may need to have an option out of the receiver spot just to, every once in a while you could stop, pull it up, and throw it out there to just kind of keep the defensive honest.
Well, that was one option all the way. That was truly a designed run for Jake Dunn. So here we go again. We are on about the Page 24-yard line. Again, Modell to the right side. He seems to favor that right side, but that is going to be very short and bring up what is fourth down on about the 20-yard line, 21.
Well, this is a scenario.
Do you kick here, Paul, or
No.
do you go for the touchdown? Do you go for more?
Yeah, I think so. And your offense has kind of been stagnant, and
it looks like James Johnson is hobbling off the field.
That's no good. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Melton probably calls a timeout here just to kind of figure out things, right? Tough decisions by head coach. He's been a defensive coordinator.
Right.
He doesn't have to make all those decisions. Now he's kind of the situation was, and now you got to worry about the play clock down to 5, and there's the much-needed timeout.
It looked like he had flipped the formation with two receivers out right and one left, but now we have a timeout.
So big fourth down conversion. Obviously the Admirals have kept to the ground, right? They've attempted a pass, one that I can recall.
That was short to the line to gain.
Do you think here they stick and try to continue to run the ball here, or do you think they try to go up top and see if they can get the much-needed 4 yards?
Well, they've had success going to the right, but I think Page is perhaps keying on that now because they've had two good initial gains, and then Page has all but bottled that up. So it'll be interesting to see what we have here. We got about 3.5 yards to gain here for the first.
Well, normally we'd say a cloud of dust, but the turf field wipes that all out.
We'll see if Page can bend but not break here.
So
Page is going with a 3-man front, but they got about 9 in the box right now.
Yeah, they're coming.
So, and there we go. Same. Yeah, Page, they're going to have a hard time going to that side. Page is definitely determined that that's where they want to go tonight.
Yeah. So a turnover on downs. You think to yourself, it was going to be probably about a 38-yard field goal attempt.
Which is not easy for a high school field goal kicker. I mean, for some it is, but generally speaking, 38 yards is not a give me by any means. And so Franklin will take over on defense here from about the 20-yard line. Page has got 3 out left, 1 to the right, and a single back in the backfield. And there's a bobbled snap there. Fumble on the play, and it looks like Franklin has it.
Wow.
That is a big turnover, Paul.
Also, hazard the run, and, it may have all started with that fumble snap, right?
Paul, that was a mess from the start. The snap was low, so it was not clean. Looked like he covered it pretty quickly, but then, again, the ball goes on the ground. We do have some laundry on the field.
Well, that's probably going to be a sideline warning. Some of the coaches ran out there to give some of the players a high five and chest bumps and shoulder bumps.
There you go, Paul. You called it.
So
sideline
right there,
warning.
the quick strip, hazard. You talked about the recovery by the Admirals, and they're in business again.
With good field position.
Again, we talked about field position. What can they do right here?
Paul, at some point, though, you got to look at the mental aspect of this where they have 3 golden opportunities to score.
Yeah,
and so if they don't come away with points here, that's going to start weighing on your team.
Kind of a tight set left here. Done in a more. This is a handoff.
Good space up the middle. Good solid run. Again now,
Jackson Modell
looks like that was Modell left as opposed to Modell right.
Again, running next and behind number 74, the left tackle of Franklin, Fisher Anderson. Kind of look, you gaze out there. You see him standing next to number 53, and he's a pretty big dude.
So we're a little wider here now on the right side. Trying to spread Page out. We'll see what we got here. We got 2 wide receivers out right.
And nobody's even guarding the slot man.
Oh, that looked like that may have been a false start there on Modell, but it looks like he got away with it. And he is breaking tackles.
It looks like they may have stripped the ball out, and the Patriots may have cut.
And there it is.
Yeah, that is so unfortunate if you're an Admiral fan.
That is tough if you're an Admiral fan, Paul. You are right. 3 good possessions and no points. And one way you would say if the Admirals could come away in the first quarter with the score 0-0, that might be a win. But if you're a casual fan, you might think we needed some points in that first quarter.
Well, you see the replay right there, and that's Modell when he was just trying to get extra yards. The Patriots doing what they've been taught, right? Just rip it out, and they were successful in doing that. So, 1st and 10, quarterback Colin Hurd back. Another kind of an errant snap. Are they going to go yard?
He's going deep here.
And
He's got good arm strength, fighting for the ball, and it is incomplete downfield.
How about that? That's
the receiver wants a flag, but Paul, that looked like they both were going for the pass there.
Yeah, that was Boy Smith running deep right there and defended nicely by number 16 for the Admirals.
That is Cooper Brown on the coverage. That was definitely a 50-50 ball there.
You're exactly right, but that just goes to show you the arm strength of Hurd, right?
Yeah, that was a good almost 50 yards downfield. Threw that almost at the 2-yard line. So he definitely has, he puts the ball on the ground again. He scrambles out. Good pickup block there. Stays in bounds, throws it to the sideline, and it's caught. Number 11 with the grab. Number 11 is Max Collins, down to about the 48-yard line. So again, Paul, showing off the arm strength. That was a back foot throw scrambling, and he gets it 48 yards down the field.
On a nice block right there, just to give Hurd a little more time and a great adjustment on number 11.
Number 11, Max
right?
Collins gets up and over
and
the defender.
Still not a bad coverage.
No,
on the
good
defensive
coverage,
side.
Paul. There's just not a lot. The size disadvantage there
I think you're exactly
against the
right.
Admirals has come into play. That is a tall young man down there, and he definitely went up to get it. So now we have 2 wide receivers on either side, single back, and it's a handoff up the middle, and no bueno, Paul. Nothing there.
Yeah, and I think, just from our perspective up here, the center quarterback exchange probably not
ideal yet.
Not
Paul.
ideal, which causes a little delay in the handoffs, and I think that right there with Hazard right there having to wait just a hair.
You mentioned it on the last play. The snap was out to his right hand, and he had to make a one-handed catch to get it, which he made look easy. However, it's not clean.
That's a
quick
good
pass
snap.
out to the side again to Max Collins, and that is going to be close to a first down. We may have a measurement here. It's going to be close. It looks like he's saying 3rd down.
Nope, they gave it to him.
Oh, nope, first down.
1st and 10.
First down, Page driving now, out of their own side of the field for the first time this early afternoon. So we got 3 wide again. Quick pass again out right to Collins. Looks like they found something they like. They're giving Collins about an 8-yard cushion out there.
Wow.
And so they may want to tighten it up. But when you look at the coverage there, we got
that's Kia Hamilton, 37.
Kia Hamilton, and there is definitely probably a 8 to 12 inch size difference between Max Collins and Kia Hamilton. So again, we are 3 wide receivers out to the left, single to the right, 1 back, scramble. Oh, nice move there, still can pass. He's in trouble, and he throws it away. There was a receiver in the area. He'd already broken the tackle box anyway.
Well, yeah, Hurd under duress, Ryan Schroeder. The D end trying to contain Hurd right there, but
Franklin has got to be gassed at this point, Paul. They've been running deep routes and out routes all the way down the field. And so their DBs have got to be,
I think you may be right.
got to be gassed. Franklin lines up in the 3-4. No pressure. run to the left side. He's got an opening. Ooh, and he is ridden down at about the 20, looks like the 24-yard line. Takes a good hit there.
Well, that's Ethan Cunningham on the carry, and he is going to be stopped for about a gain of 3. So a very important third down here for the Patriots, who have started this drive about on the 10-yard line after the turnover. So you'd hate to see it if you're a Patriots fan to come to an end. So we're going to get a timeout as Coach Rathbone for the Patriots
rallies the troops. And you mentioned it, Paul. It is definitely not for lack of coverage in Franklin's backfield secondary. They have good coverage, but we just have a size advantage for the Page Patriots.
Yeah, I think you're right. Kia Hamilton listed on our roster at 5'8", 140. The other cornerback on the other side, Alec Warchers, 5'11", 130. So
and Max Collins there, 11, is 6'2", listed as 6'2".
Yeah. So yeah, you talked about a little size difference. That can definitely, it's kind of like in basketball, right? The guy keeps taking you to the basket, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't stop. They just keep going back to the same play.
Well, and you're probably going to see the same out route here again, Paul. They ran it twice, both got 8 or 9 yards both times. Unless they play up on them, which they may, but if you're going to play press coverage here this close to the end zone, then you're going to be susceptible to a deep ball with a size disadvantage. So I'll definitely look for a corner route here, a little 8-yard out. We got 2 receivers out left, 2 receivers out right, single back and shotgun formation. Franklin again looks like they are in their 3-4. Linebackers on their heels. There's a shift. Oh. Good play by Franklin. Stops the momentum. We had looked like a sweep come underneath.
Yeah. So
it's tackled for about almost close to a 5-yard loss there.
Jet sweep. Probably an interesting call right there by Coach Rathbone after the timeout, in my opinion, to the Page side, which is good. But McCloskey for the Admirals just came up quick.
Well, and you're exactly right. And the Admirals were not blitzing on defense. They were not aggressive, so they were able to shift to that side and easily contain that play. So great defensive stop. Page is going to go for it here on 4th down. Again, 2 wide receivers out left and right. He's in the shotgun, rolls left. He's going to run, and he has room. He's going to have the 1st down, and he's out of bounds at about the 8-yard line.
Colin Hurd says, I'll take that, and we're going to keep this drive going, guys.
The Admirals had a chance, but that number 4 made that look a little too easy. He did a little shimmy, and as soon as that move was made, it was an easy 1st down for Page.
So actually, the Admirals were kind of very fortunate right there. I don't know if you saw it, but number 24, Michael Mayer, had come out the backside of the tight end position, and he was wide open in the end zone.
Paul, I think Hurd had run from the jump.
Yeah.
I think he waited till coverage set back, and then he was going to run. So we're again in the 3-wide set. Quick pass out to the flat here. Number 12 makes a move. He's got some room, but it quickly closed down on the Admiral defense there.
So Boyce Smith on the carry from Dunn, and we got an Admiral that is down on the far side of the field. So with 30 seconds here remaining in the first quarter of our WCTV contest, Paul Breece and Doug Capella on the call. And if you were joining us on our YouTube live stream, thank you. So, it's been a battle of conversions, right? 3rd down conversions, even 4th down conversions on both sides. And we've only seen one just right there by Colin Hurd, the quarterback, on that play.
So it's been a field position battle up to this point. Page is the only one now closing out the first quarter that's been able to make a drive down the field. And I think Coach Rathbone has got to take a few notes from this drive because, like I said, you have the quick out route that's worked there. The quarterback has had some room on a couple plays. But overall, the Admirals, aside from a big deep throw to Max Collins has been fairly stout on defense. But again, it looks like we may walk away with 0 points in the first quarter here.
If you had the under, you're in good shape.
You did good.
So the Admiral from the far side of the field, up on his feet, always a great sign. Let's see if we can grab a number.
Looks like number
40.
40. So that is Alec Allen. Alec Allen's shaken up on the play, but he's up on his own and he's walking off the field. That is the best news, Paul.
Well,
and Paul, anytime the byproduct of an injury like that is it lets Franklin settle down on defense.
Absolutely.
And it kind of sways momentum a little bit. So here again, you have Page out in their 4-wide set, flank 2 to the left, 2 to the right, single back out of the shotgun, or pistol, if you will. Got 5 down linemen. Franklin's lining up in their 3-4. I'm somewhat surprised here, Paul, that Franklin is not bringing pressure here. They're looks like they're just sitting back in coverage.
Well, that may be on purpose because Colin Hurd, a much mobile quarterback than
he's hurt them, right? When they've added
on the run, when his blocket breaks down, it's normally positive yards. So definitely can understand why Franklin wants to keep him inside the pocket here.
So here we go. It looks like we are underway, but there is some laundry on the field.
So it's going to be a false start, I believe, by the left guard.
Looks like we're going to back Page up 5 yards.
Dead ball. False start. 51-1.
Paul, that's got to drive Coach Rathbone a little nuts right here. You had the injury, you've had the pause in play, and then you have a false start. So the mental mistakes like that can cost you points on a drive like this when you're down the field.
So a huge 2nd and 13 for the Patriots.
Franklin Page in the same set. Back to pass. Slant route behind the receiver. Max Collins incomplete.
Well, it's interesting because, the Patriot wide receivers, all summer have been going through the routines and the repetitions with Jake McNamara, the Colorado State commitment. And I'm sure he probably gets the ball out a little bit quicker.
A little different, right?
Yeah, right. So just a little bit on the backside of that pass to Max Collins.
That's a tough one to catch, Paul. When it's behind your body like that and your momentum's moving, that's a tough ball. So it's incomplete. Here we are, 3rd and about 12 from about the 18-yard line. So Hurd scrambles out, has pressure up the middle. Looks like he's going to run. There's a defender there, makes a good tackle, and Hurd is down about the 11-yard line. So early decision here for Rathbone. Does he take the 3? Or does he go for 7? Looks like that was not a tough decision.
No, it was very quick.
That was a very quick decision.
Ian Arney on what I would say the first down saving tackle, right?
Yes. One defender there. Hurd's got a little wiggle to him, but the defender stood there and made a great open field tackle. So there we have the quarter, Paul.
Yep. So into the first quarter of our WCTV Game of the Week, Paul Breece and Doug Capella here at Franklin High School as the Admirals and the Patriots locked down at 0 in what would be a soccer fan's dream.
Yes. Yes. So, Paul, what are your takeaways from the first quarter there between these two? Because I would say many may have expected there would be more points by now.
Yeah, well, obviously the Admirals hurt themselves again, shooting themselves in the foot with the turnovers and the conversions. Defensively, both teams are pretty solid, and the Patriots gaining a little momentum offensively with Colin Hurd, a little more settled down, and so it's interesting to see. One, we have not seen a Bryce Sparks sighting for the Franklin Admirals offense, with what I would call a running back and well, he is a running back, but he's a game changer, right? Secondly, you've seen Fisher Anderson, who normally is in previous years have been strictly offensive tackle. He has been entered on the defensive side multiple times that I've seen. And, you know.
Well, and as the saying goes, Paul, you know, the best ability is availability. So when you have a guy that's that large, sometimes it's hard to play two ways, but especially in the hot, humid August here in Franklin. But it looks like he's done that.
Well, with those kind of
so we have a switch here, Paul.
What do we got?
They're out of the field goal, and they're in. They got 3 wide left, single out to the right, deep back in the shotgun. Takes a snap, rolls out to his left under pressure, and it is incomplete. Paul, I don't know where he was thrown right there. There were 2 receivers in the area, but it wasn't really close to either one of them.
Well, I thought there was some really good pressure by the Admirals to kind of force Hurd to throw it a little bit faster than he wanted to. And in that case,
he tried to lob it in there, but it was out of reach of everyone. And so, huge stop by the Franklin Admirals there on 4th down, and they are going to take over on what looks to be about the 12 and a smidge, we'll call it, yard line. And so now Page has them backed on their own side of the field, and again, field position comes into play on what has been a defensive struggle up to this point. Franklin's got 2 wide, receiver in motion, clears the side, handoff underneath, and he goes nowhere. Page, with the exception of about 3 runs, Paul, has been very stout up front.
Yeah, and 100%.
Franklin is going to have to loosen up that front a little bit. That front is gobbling up defenders.
You know what's going to be able to do that? They're going to have to complete a pass.
Correct. Correct. They're going to have to throw the ball a little bit to loosen that up because Page is dug in and has not allowed much, especially between the guard and tackle spots. That has been occupied space by the Page defenders. Page has a big fella in there, number 70, who is definitely, he's a refrigerator in a garage kind of guy. He's definitely a big man. And yeah, you could see it. He did not make the play, but he had 3 people trying to push him back.
Absolutely. Great call right there. But yeah, again, Admirals running between the guards. I'm just trying to make something happen, but you're going to have to eventually do something creative to try to get guys in open space and see if you can break a tackle or 2 just to get some big-time positive yards.
So Owen Sachs, number 70, comes out. They have a more svelte interior line in here now, obviously for the passing down. So again, a designed run with the quarterback. Space is closing, and he is going to be forced out at about the 19 or 20-yard line. That's going to be a Admiral 4th down. So Owen Sachs, Coach, that is about as good of a lineman name as you can have.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're usually going to get a name, Owen Sachs, or something along those lines.
So here comes Saltmarsh to.
So we'll see what Page has. It looks like they are set back here. It doesn't look like they're going to go for a block. The punter standing, has his heels on the 5. No pressure. The punt is off, and it's a solid one. Fair catch is signaled at the Page, looks like 47-yard line.
So what we had in the first quarter was the Admirals having the better field position and not taking advantage of it. Now the Patriots.
And again, it's a battle of field position because now Page is going to take over in great territory here. This may be the best field position they've had throughout the whole night. They had the long drive that stalled at about the 15-yard line of the Admirals, and so Page will take over here. At the 47, you got 2 wide receivers out left, 2 out right, single back in the backfield. Looks like we're in a pistol formation here. Hurd takes the snap, quick look, and there is miscommunication there. The defensive back fell down, and the receiver was running a go, and the quarter threw a post-out route, it looked like. And
well,
when that happens, Paul, 10 out of 10 times you're going to have an incomplete pass.
Right. So my take on it is this. Last week we saw Hurd come in the second quarter for McNamara, right? McNamara's worked with these guys all summer. They kept it very simple last week for Hurd, right? They didn't really do anything. It looks like they've expanded the offense a little bit during the practice week.
Sure.
And doing some things different. But again, still a little miscommunication.
You're seeing the telltale signs of just some rust. Paul, you got a new quarterback in there. That is a good. There's the out route that he's had success with going up the field. But he's about 2 to 3 yards short of the first down. So we're on the Admiral side of the field here at about the 46-yard line. 3 yards the gain to go for a first. Paul, what do you think we're going to have here on this play?
Well, there was you know what?
I'm going to smell a designed quarterback run here, Paul, but we'll see what we got.
They may take the receivers, and well, I tell you what, the way they're playing off the receivers, I may go to a quick throw here.
No, he's back, quick throw. Again, the out route. He breaks a tackle. He's got some room, makes a move, and he is shoelace tackled at about the 26-yard line. Paulie had one man to beat.
Yeah, Mayer.
And there's credit to the defensive back there to make a good tackle on what looked to be a home run.
Yeah, Michael Mayer, quick pass. Cooper Brown on the shoestring tackle right here. You'll see it. Just a quick play. And there's the one miss, the second miss. And Brown says, let me try. And he got it.
So again, we got two wide to the left and the right. Hurts back, looking deep, has a man. Oh, Paul, that was close. That was a catchable pass right there.
Well, that was
It would have been a good one. It would have been on ESPN tomorrow, but that was a good location, good throw. Only he could have caught that pass in the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, that was Trent Gephardt that ran kind of the post right there. You got to think Hurd's getting a little more comfortable, a little more.
His throws are definitely
well,
and he's getting rid of the ball in about 2 to 3 seconds, which in this offense is ideal. You don't want to hold on to the ball, and so he's getting rid of it a lot quicker, and he's starting to narrow his gap a little bit on the receivers. And so, Paul, maybe he's getting warmed up and may have a different ball game here in the second half.
Well, I tell you what, look for an Eric Hazard carry right here. I think they're going to try to run the ball.
Oh, bobbled snap. Again, leaves Hurd. He makes a spins, breaking tackles, and he's taken down. That was all Hurd right there on that run as the snap hit the ground again.
I'm sure when they go
in the locker room, Coach Rathbone may have some chalk talk about the snaps on the ground.
Well, if you check your roster, I believe that center position is held by your man Owen Sachs.
Owen's Big Sachs is in there.
I believe he's the center, so he does it all. I mean,
well, Paul, if he puts another one on the ground, he's going to be the center of attention. And it'll be Coach Rathbone. And so there he is. Yep, you are right. 70. Big Sachs is in there. That's the center position.
Yep, and a timeout by Franklin.
So Franklin trying to slow the mo down here.
Yeah, we have seen multiple times, if you're just joining us on our YouTube live stream on our WCTV Game of the Week, all you have seen have stalled out plays or turnovers to end drives. And this is another big one right here, 3rd and 3. And, you know.
And, Paul, those are the things that will drive a head coach crazy, because those are all things that rob momentum, and they're all things that you coach discipline. And so when the ball goes on the ground, or there's a false start, or any of those things that are drive killers, that will send your coach into another set of blood pressure levels.
Coach Melton getting his feet wet this year as a new Admirals football coach. Many stops, though, as an assistant coach. And
Coach Melton and Coach Rathbone on the coaches show earlier today. And those questions were asked of Coach Melton, and taking on the task of being the head guy now and having to do things like coaches shows instead of preparing your team.
That's right.
Something he's adjusting to. Looks like we have a hand.
Oh my.
There's a snap handoff to the right side, and he is taken down quickly.
Yeah, number
by
7, Reagan
Franklin
McCloskey.
Defense.
McCloskey coming off the end right there, just had no shot for Page. And here we go, Doug. Fourth
and long. You got 7 here.
And we talked about it, stalled drives, failed drives, not converted. Will this be another one?
Yeah, Paul, that call there, you got to wonder what Rathbone was thinking on 3rd and long there.
Well, honestly, I think he was thinking, hey, I'm going to get a couple yards here, and I'll make 4th down conversion a little bit easier.
Right, he may think we got 2 downs to go here, so let's get what we can. But he's lined up here, Paul. He's going for it.
Oh, absolutely.
He's got 2 out left. We are way deep on the outside here. He's giving him, and there is a penalty. What do you got here, Paul? What's the call?
I think it's going to be, it's going to be on.
Delay of game.
Yeah, that is huge.
Oh, we had just talked about that, Paul. The drive-killing penalties, like a delay of game.
So
after a timeout.
Yeah, Coach Rathbone's going to come out and say, wait a minute now. We didn't even get 25 seconds to line up. I mean, how in the world does that happen? And Coach Rathbone has seen a lot of football, and for sure he's got an argument on his hands that he may be able to win. And as I was looking on the call, we looked toward the north end zone down here on the play clock. It actually had time left. The south end zone, which is the one that the back judge looks at 0 seconds. So there you go. As Doug Capella got to answer some fan text real quick.
The comments are coming in, Paul.
They're saying, be quiet. And listen, after the pool of candidates that we had, to get a coup like you into the booth with us, this is huge for WCTV.
Paul, as you heard and witnessed, I was so good that I was recognized from last year.
Absolutely did.
And so with this being my first broadcast, that is a memorable moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here we go, 4th and a long ways to go here. Although it looks like they waved off the flag here.
Well, hold on now. They moved it back.
Oh, they moved it back up.
They're gonna.
Oh, they're marking it off now.
The white hat guy
I
always
spoke too soon.
Yeah.
Oh, no. They waved it off. So no delay. Paul, you said the clocks were wrong.
So here's the funny thing. You see Page right there breaking the huddle. They're like, oh, we're not going to take a chance this time. They ran up there pretty quick.
So maybe a little wind in Page's sails here as they navigate the play clock mishap. So credit to Coach Rathbone for catching that. And Paul, it's not very often an official will do that.
Admittance is the first step.
Yeah. So here we go. Page has 3 out to the right, 2 out to the left. We got a quarterback in the shotgun. Snap, rolls back, throws it up deep, wide open, touchdown. Paul, that was a little too easy.
Yep.
It looks like there was definitely a breakdown in the coverage. The inside route was not covered. And number 7 for Page, that is Kason Walker, appropriately named Walker because he walked into the end zone, Paul, untouched.
Well, we'll get a little breakdown here after the all-important. In high school, we call this the all-important PAT.
The all-important.
Because it can change things desperately.
And it is up, and it is good.
So, on the replay right here, we're going to see Colin Hurd, the quarterback. This is probably one of the few times we've seen him in an empty backfield. And he's going to hit the seam guy, just toss it up.
Again, off his back foot.
Yep, and he knew.
Yeah.
We saw the coverage just a tad late. And, man, I tell you what, you get a more comfortable quarterback, Colin Hurd. It is going to, the Admirals going to need to answer here before they head to the house for halftime.
Yes, sir. Paul, that was a 2-step drop off the back foot. Easy money right there in the end zone for Page.
So check that, 7:43 till halftime?
7:43 until the half.
Something, everybody's utilized a lot of timeouts. I know that. It seems like this quarter's gone a little bit longer than normal.
Well, and let's see how the Admirals respond here, Paul, to the first points of the game. See if Coach Melton's made any adjustments offensively.
Well, let's see if they get
a nice return here would help them, Paul.
Kia Hamilton, the young man that returned the opening kickoff. I doubt that Coach Rathbone's probably going to kick it back toward Kia Hamilton, number 37.
Correct.
May go the other direction.
And we may see a pooch kick here. We'll see what Coach Rathbone has here for the special teams. And a pooch kick. Looks like it's down at the 20, and it goes out of bounds.
Wow.
That is a break for the Admirals because, Paul, that looked like it may have bounced right back in, which was not the favorable thing there. That would have been a bad break for the Admirals.
So Alec Warchus was the return man right there, and that took some intestinal fortitude to let that one just keep bouncing like that.
Well, to have one eye on defenders that are running at you and one eye on a football that might just bounce in. Yes, he did the right thing, though. In the end, it went out of bounds. And so the Admirals are going to have favorable field position here. So the ball is on the Admiral 35.
Franklin will start the draw first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
We got twins right, single receiver to the left.
And again, we've talked about it. The Admirals throw the ball here.
Yeah, Paul, they're going to have to figure out a way to loosen up these Page linebackers because, again, here they make a stop at the line of scrimmage. They're not finding a lot of room between the tackles here.
Haymeyer in on the stop for Page.
So Haymeyer on the tackle right there, 87. Had his name called a lot last week.
What does Melton have in his sleeve for a trick play here, Paul? Something to, again, because them linebackers on that snap, they're just stepping forward, which is telling me they're just reading run the whole way here.
Absolutely.
And that's hard to do when you are running like they are because they're sniffing it out pretty quick. You can see the linebackers, again, just stepping forward, filling gaps. And, yeah, they're going to be taken down for a loss here.
Dunn on the carry.
So Dunn on the design keeper.
Peyton Walker on the stop for Page.
And number 7 for Page.
So Cason Walker.
Walker, the
came
touchdown
up.
maker.
Yeah, there you go. So Walker's playing both ways tonight. Page has got a few guys playing both ways. They must have a new conditioning program over there to tackle these early week 0 and week 1 football games. So we have third and a good ways to go. About, it looks like 12 maybe, third and 12 to go. So
and a
bobble
snap. It's going to be
ball
loose.
on the ground. Franklin's recovered it. So they avoid what looked to be catastrophe there, Paul, but they are still now fourth and about 15 to go.
Yep.
And what started off as the
Favorable.
favorable, decent field position, not bad. And they get a net -5 on that drive.
Well, the funny thing is, we've been on Page all night for the bad center quarterback exchange, and that time
it was the Admirals. Guilty as charged there with a bobbled snap. Franklin's back deep to punt. It's up and away. A little bit of pressure. Caught cleanly at the 44-yard line. Still up.
That's Walker.
Walker, one man to beat, and it's the punter, and he gets him on the sideline.
Saltmarsh runs him down.
Number 2 comes up a little bit hobbled there for the Admirals.
Saltmarsh runs him out of bounds.
Pages seem to definitely shift the momentum in their favor, Paul. They look like they're playing downhill now at this point. They are on about the 30-yard line going into Admiral territory.
It's like when you played soccer when you were little and the field was uneven and you got the second half switch, you got to go downhill.
Yes.
Here comes Colin Hurd, who's starting to feel his oats a little bit.
Colin's settling down, and he's definitely comfortable back there now.
Empty backfield, which you would normally think.
Which usually means it's a pass, Paul.
Well, we know Colin Hurd can definitely.
He can dance a little bit, so he may take this. It looks like he's got his 2-step drop. He rolls out. The end is quick in pursuit. Hurd gets out away from him, beats another defender.
Oh, my.
And Coach runs a mile for a 2-yard gain.
But it's positive yards.
Yes, sir.
That was a huge play, and that's Colin Hurd at his best, extending the play.
Although, Paul, I believe if they would have tackled him, it would have been a horse collar. So we may have had,
Might have been fortunate.
may have been a penalty there. So he broke contain, broke the tackles, and got about 2 yards off a 47-yard run. Again, empty backfield here. It looks like Coach Rathbone has found something he likes here. They are playing well off on the outsides here. Hurd takes the snap, comfortable in the pocket, throws quick to the flat. Outside 14 has it, breaks one tackle, and gets up to first down yardage there on about the 18-yard line. Number 14 for Page.
Ethan Cunningham, the freshman?
Unless we have a misprint here, Ethan Cunningham.
Yeah, I mean, the freshman with a big catch. Listen, whether it's Ethan Cunningham or not, his parents are listening or watching, he'll take it.
That's right. Friday Night Lights, Paul, you can't beat it. You're a freshman out here catching a pass like that in a big football game. The WCTV Game of the Week football game. That is good stuff. So again, we're out 5 wide here, empty backfield. Hurd in the shotgun position, takes the snap, drops back, throws out again to the freshman again, makes a move to the outside, rolling to the end zone, down at the 5-yard line. Nice little catch and run.
Hurd's pass is complete to Cunningham.
Coach Breece is getting confirmation on young number 14, and it appears he's a sophomore. He is a sophomore. We just got confirmation.
Good for a Page first down. He's first and goal Page from the Franklin 7-yard line.
So Page has the ball on the 7-yard line.
I had to confer with the Page coaches to make sure he was a freshman. I don't know if I was reading it incorrectly or not, but hey.
He is a sophomore.
Either way,
a young man making big plays tonight. Good stuff for number 14. Bobbled snap. Running back picks it up. The sophomore in the end zone.
You got it.
For a touchdown.
Oh.
Paul, I believe he owes us. We spoke that into existence. Number 14. 14
Ethan
for the
Cunningham.
Ethan Cunningham picks up the fumble on the ground in the backfield, which, Paul, I believe he was getting the ball anyway.
Yeah, it says 5'11", 150, ninth graders. What we have, but you know what?
Well, all 5'11" got into the end zone.
Got him,
Paul.
Got him.
The young man picked the ball up, ran the 7 yards, and scored a touchdown on the WCTV Game of the Week here. And now, with the good extra point, Page is up 14, Admirals 0.
So we'll see the play right here. I mean, usually Eric Hazard is in the backfield with Hurd, but this time it is Cunningham. And look at that.
Picks it right up off the ground.
That would call a non-assisted touchdoton right there.
They may have just run the fumble Ruski on us, Paul.
So unconventional touchdown.
So is that a 8-yard touchdown run, or is that a fumble recovery? How is that scored, Paul?
That is a good question. I'll have to check with our statistician in the truck.
I believe that's going to be a fumble recovery and a touchdown, which is going to hurt his yards per carry a little bit.
Absolutely. Maybe we can ask Madison, our wonderful camera person up here. Madison, what do you think? No, she's busy. She's got it locked in.
Madison is doing a fine job operating the camera tonight.
Without Madison here, one of us would have to be doing it.
Paul, I nominate you. Nose goes.
So, 14-0. That took about 4 minutes. The Admirals are going to have one more shot, I think. But they got to make it long enough to where Page is going to get the ball to start the second half.
Correct. Franklin is deferred, and so Page will get the ball at the second half. So Franklin, I wouldn't say it's desperate quite yet, Paul, but they're going to want to put some points on here before they close out this half. It's a different locker room speech when you have points on the board than it is going in with the old goose egg there.
We'll see where they go here on the kickoff.
Again, it's a pooch, and that is going to go out of bounds by a hair, Paul.
They're closing in on that.
They were quick on that one, a little quicker. And so, again, they're going to get the ball in good field position. Here at the 35 again, the ball went out of bounds on the kickoff. So is Coach Melton, is he going to open the playbook up a little bit here, Paul, or do you think he's going to focus on what they've been doing and stick with it?
Well, I would think that he's going to try to avoid any kind of turnovers, right, or any type of situation where it's a risky play. So I think they may stick to the ground game right here.
Well, and for Melton, if he goes in
Only down 2.
down 2 scores, maybe that is something he can build on for the second half. So he's in shotgun, fake handoff underneath, rolls out to the right, throws to the outside, and Paul, I think he was just throwing that one away.
Well,
Good coverage there by the Page secondary.
Yeah, tremendous.
It would have had to have been a perfect throw in that window, and that is tough to do when you're rolling out.
Well, the good thing is he was rolling out to his throwing side, which was good.
He was not moving across his body.
Yeah, so he had a shot, but Page just read it perfectly, and give the secondary for Page credit for being right there. And then one of those young men was touchdown Walker, number 7.
As he will be called for the rest of his days,
Wow.
Paul. So again, we have motion here. This time he hands it off. Underneath, not much room there to move. And it looks like he may have gotten a yard or 2 on the run to the outside. But again, Page has good contain there. Doesn't give up much. Looks like they may have gotten 3 on the play. So Franklin's 3rd and 7 to go here. Paul, we haven't seen much in the middle of the field from the Admirals up to this point.
Well, they've kind of gone to the jet sweep or the quarterback keeper to the wide side of the field.
So it looks like we're going to have a timeout on Franklin.
So I don't know if you.
I believe that's Franklin's 2nd timeout.
Yeah. So 1 timeout left in the half, but with 3:13 remaining on our WCTV game of the week, Paul Breece, Doug Capella on his rookie broadcast. Fantastic job, Coach. I mean, listen, this is old hat.
Paul, you can make it easy. If you can convince my wife to let me coach softball, you can do anything.
Well, you know, I receive a lot of messages during these broadcasts for shout-outs. And I've had multiple, actually, texts. Have you received any text for any
Paul,
shout-outs
I believe that we are both on that thread.
Well, there's actually more than one from me.
I have only received 1.
Well, listen, we may have to have a sponsor for a shout-out or something.
That's right. So here we go, Paul. This is a big play right here as Franklin is backed up 3rd and 7 on their own, what looks to be 38-yard line. Minutes winding down in the first half. Page up 14-0. Takes the snap, rolls out to his left, looking for space.
There he's got it.
Tackle, breaks another tackle. Paul, he could go. Oh, and he gets tackled at the Page 41-yard line. Paul, that is just what the doctor ordered for the Admirals right there.
Absolutely, and the fans on our side of the field have woken up.
The Admiral fans looking for something to cheer for, and there was a little bit of electricity there in the crowd on that run. So Jake Dunn there makes a few defenders miss and picks up good yardage. So we have 1st and 10 here on the Page 41-yard line. We're in the shotgun set. Handoff inside. And Paul, same story, same result here.
Well, you talked about earlier going to the middle of the field.
Page is stout up front. They have not given up much ground. You got big 70 down there on their rundowns, and he is eating up some real estate. Franklin's going with a bit of a hurry up here. Number 2's a little wobbled there on the end in a shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers to the left. Hurd rolls out. One guy coming in fast there. Up, and there we go, and he's got about a yard gain there. Colin Hurd's trying to make some things happen, Paul, but it's closing on him too fast.
That's actually Jake Dunn, the quarterback for Franklin.
Oh.
But you know who was on the tackle?
Here we go.
Colin Hurd. I don't know,
There
I don't
we
know if you
go.
recognize that, but Colin Hurd.
The correction there, Jake Dunn on offense, trying to make some things happen.
Yeah.
So here we go. Franklin has 3 out to the right, 1 to the left, single back in the backfield, shotgun formation. Dunn's waiting for the play to come in. 3rd and about 7. Again, another big play here for the Franklin Admirals. Here we go again. 44 is going to have the first down and then some. Page wants a penalty.
Well, and justifiably so. They a little lean right there. Rocco Pineda,
No laundry on the field though, Paul.
number 44, with the off tackle left. Big conversion, first down. This is where Franklin would love to have a little more pocket full of timeouts here. Only
Admirals
at
again in the hurry up. Dunn gets this direct snap. He's going to run. He has a little bit of room. Trying to strip the ball is Page, but unsuccessfully. Dunn is going to get about 5 yards, 6 yards on the play. But Paul, the clock is bleeding right now. There is 28 seconds. So we are again in the hurry up. Looks like he's probably going to spike it here.
Oh,
And there's a
unconventional spike.
that was a double snap, Paul. I've only seen those a few times. So it's 3rd and 3.
I tell you what, Doug Capella, I don't know, but if you ask me what I would have done right there, I would have ran a play.
Maybe a fake spike and a throw? Or,
Well, the problem is now you're 3rd and 3.
well, an incomplete pass is the same thing as a spike, right? So you can run a play, and if the ball's incomplete, it's incomplete and stops the clock.
But if then it becomes 4th, and then what are you going to do? He had time to run.
So in any regard, it's 3rd and short. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Pass sails over the head of the receiver, who did not appear to be ready for the football.
4th down, and now Coach Alex Melton has a big-time decision.
Paul, I think you have to go for the 7 here, I think.
Yeah, it'd have been about a 35-yarder from the right hash.
You want points here, Paul, but Page has been gaining momentum, again, playing downfield, and the Admirals need to narrow this gap a little bit. And again, it's a different locker room down by a touchdown than down by 2 scores. So we're in the shotgun here. Dunn goes back, throws it up deep. This could happen, and it's incomplete. In the deep left corner of the end zone, they were jockeying for position. Paul, there was a chance, but it did not come down the Admirals' way. Incomplete, turnover on downs.
Well, we'll see right here is Dunn just kind of throws off his back foot just to the corner of the end zone. The ball hangs up high. Walker right there defending, knocks it down, and it looks like the Admirals' scoreless streak is going to be extended to 6 quarters now.
Paul, those are balls that in the lights can get lost in the end zone. When you're a young receiver like that and in a high school game, that ball will sail. Good coverage in the Page secondary, and looks like he may have lost it in the lights and just couldn't come down with it. So Page is going to take over here.
We're going to have a timeout. We had 12 men on the field after the exchange of sometimes they don't realize, hey, wait a minute, am I supposed to be on offense now? You know, when you play both ways, it gets kind of.
You can play with 10, Paul. You cannot
play with 12.
Play with
That's
12.
Right. So a late runoff is going to get Coach Rathbone a timeout before the penalty, which I don't really think would have changed things. I think they're just going to run it out.
Well, Paul, you never know. You never know what Coach Rathbone could do here.
Well,
but I agree with you. I think that he's going to take a knee and go into halftime up with a 2-touchdown lead and a pretty solid Patriot defensive performance in the first half. Paul, I will say, if you eliminated some of the mental mistakes on both sides of the field, you may have had a bit of a different first half. But the fumbles and small miscues have kept this game pretty close. So Page is going to line up as if they're going to run a play. Looks like they're in a pistol formation here. Snap and a knee. And, Paul, that'll bring us
Well, the timeout was for a kneel.
a kneel. Yes.
But so, going into halftime in our WCTV Game of the Week, the Page Patriots, the visiting squad, comes to Franklin and leads 14-0. Join us for our second half of our WCTV Game of the Week. welcome back to our WCTV Game of the Week at Franklin High School as the Page Patriots lead the Franklin Admirals 14-0. Paul Breece along with Doug Capella here at Franklin High School for week number 2 of our WCTV Game of the Week via live stream on YouTube. You can also catch this, Doug, on the local government WCTV Channel 3. I believe they show a replay on Saturday and Sundays at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. And then I believe on Wednesdays at multiple times. You got nothing to do on a Wednesday.
Paul, if you love defense, this will be a game you want to watch.
This is one. This is where I look at my son who goes to a lot of Nashville Soccer Club games, and I go, get some, hey, what was the score? 0-0. Did you have fun? Yeah. I'm like, what is wrong? So anyway, yes, you talked about it, Doug. Defense, but what did we learn about the Page offense is it got a little momentum going. Very comfortable in the situations.
Well, you had a young quarterback who's been put into action, and he's definitely, as the game's worn on, he's gotten more comfortable back there. Made some good-looking throws. Still put the ball on the field quite a bit on the snap and the shotgun. Paul, just really some week 1 miscues as we go on. You know, high school kids don't get a preseason. They just jump right into action, and so this is week 1, and there have been just some typical things that you might see in an early game, some, as coaches would say, lack of discipline type of plays, some penalties, but Page has settled down a little bit, and the Admirals, to their credit, have played a solid defensive game. As you would think, the man at the top is a defensive guy, but if they're going to change the course of this game, they're going to have to start moving the ball down the field on the other side, especially given the field position that they've had this evening.
Let's talk about stats. Offensive yardage for the game. Page 164 to the Admirals 83. This is maybe a tell sign here. The Admirals is 0 of 4 in the passing game, and the Page Patriots 11 of 19 for 130 yards.
Well,
So
that
would
tells
be the
you why
difference.
it's 14-0.
Yeah.
And those are stats that are indicative of 2 teams that run the double wing, not 2 teams that are putting 2 and 3 receivers out. So we will see here. Kickoff is about underway, Paul, in the second half of our WCTV broadcast Game of the Week. And again, Franklin has deferred, giving Page the ball to open up. And so, Paul, what do you think the locker room was like there at halftime for the Franklin Admirals?
Well, I think the Franklin Admirals are trying to find an identity, right? We talked about over and over again the losing of a lot of offensive weapons as they have been held scoreless the last 6 quarters, We'll see the Patriots return there into the 30. But again, going back to what did the locker room say, again, Coach Melton is having to kind of adjust on the fly. Bryce Sparks, starting star running back for them, out tonight. And so it has been a running back by committee, but unfortunately the quarterback, Jake Dunn, has been the leader in the clubhouse. But now it's time for Page in the offense, and Colin Hurd, number 4, star of the show.
So here we go. Page opens right up again in that 5-wide set, Paul, in the shotgun. Franklin's going to stick in their base 3-4 package. And that is a fumble.
No, that's going to be an incomplete pass. Probably a flag should come out.
Yeah, he was outside of the tackle box, but A, it didn't hit the line of scrimmage, and B, there was not a receiver in sight.
Not a receiver in sight. Didn't get it back to the line of scrimmage. Will a penalty be thrown?
I do not believe.
Well, they're definitely, Coach Melton is definitely saying, wait a minute now. Something is not.
Yeah, one of 2 things should have happened there. You're going to get in the grass where he's down there, or you're going to get a penalty, and neither of those things.
Yeah, he is
there
at a loss.
So.
Coach Melton is just like.
Well, we're going to move the second down here again in the 5 wide.
Yeah, what a break.
Back to pass. Throws it out in the flat to number 7. Seven's got some room. And he's twisted down, Paul, at the Admiral 48-yard line.
So what was a situation right here, what could have been a second and a country mile, second to 10 off the no call, and a pass out to Kason Walker, who we have seen in many of pressure situations for the Patriots when it comes to moving the chains.
Big game tonight for
a nice catch by him.
Now, Paul, what is the difference in distance between a country mile
and a regular mile?
No, a country mile and as far as a crow flies.
I know this. A country mile is a long way. The way the crow flies seems to be a little bit shorter. You can just ask Waze.
Waze. Let's put that in Waze. As far as a crow flies.
And Waze has led me to some definitely country roads, which is another topic of conversation for a later time.
So, Paul, we are in short yardage here, and Page has opened up in their 5-wide set again with the shotgun. We're going right up, and a little bit of miscommunication there, Paul. The quarterback threw it, and the receiver was not turned around.
Well, that looks to me like a Colin Hurd pass that was needed about maybe a little change up. That one was coming with the heater, the fastball. No need really to put
a little bit of cheese on that one, as they might
sure.
say. He and the receiver was definitely not expecting that one. So here we are again, Paul, in 3rd and short. We have a back in the backfield this time. 3 out to the left, 1 to the right receiver. Out of the pistol formation here. Hurd's going to take the snap. It's a handoff to the left. He's bottled up there, and a good open field tackle on the Franklin defense by number 11, Ian Arney, on the play.
So Ian Arney, Johnny on the spot. And an interesting call right here by Coach Rathbone to go ahead and punt. I believe this may be the first punt of the night for the Patriots. Even though it's 4th and 3, right, Doug?
Well, he's probably feeling a little comfortable about the way his defense has played tonight, and so he figures maybe he can pin them back here deep, maybe get a turnover, but his defense has been stout. The Patriots have not given much, as you noted at halftime, just over 80 total yards in offense for the Admirals. So, as one might say, he's using a little strategery here, Paul, to get the ball downfield and flip it a little bit.
Yep.
We're in a heavy protection. Squib punt there. He takes it at the 10, and he is good tackle there. Number 2 on Page on the tackle. That's going to be Jordan Rutland. Good open field tackle, minimal punt return, and the Admirals are going to take over at what looks to be about the 18-yard line here, Paul.
We've seen Franklin start in horrendous offensive position. We've seen him in great starting position. The results have been the same, and it is going to be interesting to see if, this may be a possession where they try to just go 10 yards at a time and just try to build momentum. No need to go out for a home run ball here. You're still in the game. I mean, last year's game was a 14-13 contest where the the Admirals pulled it off.
Well, he's going with the same look on offense here. We'll see what changes Coach Melton may have made at halftime, but looks to be more of the same here, Paul. He tried to get that to the outside of the tackle there. And again, Page stout on defense. The perimeter, as one would say, has been sealed there.
Well, that time, again, they tried to run behind left tackle Fisher Anderson, and
they have not been able to set that edge all night.
No.
The Patriots have just been there. And so it looks like we're going no huddle here, Paul. This is the NASCAR package here to open up the second half. Here we have a bit of a different look here now. We are wide open. We got 4 wide, a runner in the backfield there in shotgun. Looks like a bit of a lean there by the running back.
Under pressure is done.
Under pressure, it's good pursuit there. Shakes it a little bit outside. Splits defenders, but ends up with a solid, about a 7-yard gain there, 8-yard gain. Makes it a doable 3rd down here, Paul.
Yeah, doable is a great adjective.
Attainable.
Yeah,
Attainable.
but absolutely. That could have been a negative play, turned into something positive that
Yeah, Jake Dunn had a nice run there. Nice scramble there to the outside. And so we're back to the same formation of 2 out left, 1 out to the right. Looks like you have an H back there and a halfback in a pistol formation. Takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. He is tackled quickly, so we're going to definitely need the officials to mark the ball here, it looks like. Paul, you're motioning for a first down.
absolutely. And again, we kind of started right. Let's do 10 yards at a time. Let's work the chains.
Paul, was that a hometown first down? Or was that
Hometown first down.
You giving them the hometown
Yeah.
discount there? No, he was easily a yard or so past the marker. So we have, again, first down on about the 29-yard line. Franklin's in tight, just 1 wide receiver out to the left, a bunch to the right with 3. Ball on the ground, and the quarterback just falls on it. Paul, we're not going to get down the field putting the ball on the ground like that. The
Absolutely. If you're
Admirals
an
are
Admiral fan, this is you finally got a little glimpse of hope. And just like that, now we're back into a 2nd and 15 situation.
Yeah, and the offense here that Coach Melton's running is not one that, if you're losing 3 or 4 yards, it's going to put you in a difficult situation here. So again, he's back to 2 out to the left, a wide receiver to the right, tight end, set out to the left, fakes the handoff underneath, breaks contain on the outside, still looking downfield, and is shoved out of bounds, Paul, about 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Looks like another loss on the play. Dunn just could not get rid of the ball again. Rolling to your left, right-handed thrower. Kind of a difficult spot even for a high school quarterback, right?
Yeah, you have to be a Patrick Mahomes kind of guy to be able to throw across your body like
Absolutely.
he does, right?
Absolutely.
Tough ask for a high school student to throw across their body like that on the run. So we got Franklin's out really wide here on the right side. We got Twins left. Quarterback in the shotgun. Lots of pressure up the middle. He's going to try to run for it. He breaks contain, throws it. Ooh, maybe a little early there on the contact.
And put it in the books, a completed pass by the Admirals.
Completed pass, Paul, but still
And I tell you what,
still short.
Still short. I mean, the crowd's excited about the completed pass, but still a 4th down situation.
So we have 4th down for the Admirals. Punter's got his heels on about the 20-yard line. Page's return man's got his feet at his own 35. It's a high punt. Calls for a fair catch. Ball is down at the 40-yard line.
So kind of where we started almost as soon as we came out of halftime, off the original kickoff by Franklin. And the Patriots drive number 2 coming up.
They've traded stalled drives here to open up the 3rd quarter. And as you said, field position's almost identical here for Page. To the Admirals' credit, solid on defense. Still trying to work some of the bugs out on the offensive side of the ball. Page again they're in a 4-wide set here. Running back behind the quarterback. Looks like there was a commotion up front.
Maybe
both hands pointing to each other.
Yeah, I think it's on Franklin there.
They might have messed with the center. Yeah, there you go. A little too eager there on the Admiral side of the ball. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty, moving the Patriots up to the 45-yard line. 2 receivers either side here, 1 back in the backfield. The ball snapped, quick pass to the outside. That could be a fumble. He scoops it up, And the official says that pass was forward, Coach Breece. That pass was forward, not a fumble. It was close. That would have been the break the Admirals needed, because there was nothing between that young man but green turf and end zone.
Yeah.
And he was well on his way.
That would have been the gift that kept on giving right there for the Admirals.
So Rathbone says, you know what, let's hand it off this time.
Arnie was the first Admiral on the play, slowed him up. Nice run to make it a manageable 3rd and 3 right here.
So Brock Hogan gets the handoff there. Takes it about 2 yards to the Page 47-yard line, it looks like, where it will be 3rd down. Same set, though running back flank to his right. 4 wide receivers. Ball's on the ground again. Looks like it's going to be close. That's going to be a 1st down.
Wow.
Again, another broken play there, Coach, where the ball goes on the ground and he's got to scoop it up.
Yeah, it's a headsy play by Hurd. You know what happens right there, the defensive line is, moving upfield and the speed, and they don't realize the ball is even on the ground, right? They're working with their man, but Hurd, it's not his first time to pick up a bad snap all night.
He's had some practice, Coach.
Absolutely.
He's had some practice. So here we are in shotgun set, running back to the right, 2 wide receivers out to the left, 2 wide receivers out to the right, in shotgun. Takes the snap. Deep throw over the middle. A little short, Coach.
Yeah,
a little short there.
Didn't look like it came out of Hurd's arm, or his hand is normal.
It looked like the running back there was trying to run a bit of a wheel route, but the coverage was there. So 2nd and 3rd option was there, and he just had to get rid of the ball. Got 3 wide to the right here. Single receiver to the left in shotgun. Good snap. Quarterback's rolling to the right. Lobs it up and out of bounds.
Nice pressure on the outside by 54 for Franklin.
Hurd, Coach, is just not finding anybody that's open. The Admirals have tightened up defense.
Well, if you think about it, the Patriots have 80% right pass. So there once was a crowded in between the tackle boxes, kind of loosened up for Franklin, and now they have a chance to be in some more pass coverage areas.
Again, we're trips right here, single back in the backfield. Hurd's rolling out to his right, looking, got man, nice throw. Nice throw there by Hurd. Tiptoes number 24 to the out-of-bounds line, about 2 yards ahead. So Michael Mayer there on the catch. Colin Hurd fires a nice pass there, Coach, where only Mayer can get it, and he gets the 1st down.
Yeah, and that's not the first time that Hurd has made that pass, rolling to his strong side. Again, we've reiterated. I mean, the Admirals have been there, but that pass was a situation where it was only where the receiver could catch.
Got a handoff up the middle.
There's big Eric Hazard.
Big Eric Hazard.
Yeah.
Rumbling and stumbling, as they might say, Coach, for a gain of about 5. Hazard looks to be a throwback player when running backs went about 6'2", 240.
We'll see. Maybe we'll get another shot of seeing Hazard here on the carry.
Got trips right, single left, and a pistol here. Another snap on the ground. Hurd runs into Hazard on that play. And he was not a benefactor there of a bad snap.
Still positive yardage.
Yeah, making 2 yards out of nothing, Coach.
And your good friend, the center, who is a defensive presence, Sachs, still may have not gotten that talk at halftime like he was expecting. I'm sure there was mention, though.
It may have been brought up, at least in a sidebar conversation.
That's the quarterback has to really work, and you think, go up to your center, pat him on the back, say, give me one right to the hands.
Well, and Coach, this offense is predicated on timing.
That's exactly
From the
right.
snap to the route to the throw, it's timing. And so when you're throwing a half a second off with a bobbled snap, it's definitely going to mess with the route and the receiver.
First pass is incomplete.
Great play there. Hurd tried to hit it. I think Franklin probably had about 8 defenders right there.
That'll bring up 4th down and 4 yards.
And Panea on the linebacker spot drops in coverage and knocks that down. So, 4th down.
So what do we do here? Page has great field position.
Besides dodging bats up here, I don't know what we're going to do. We got some.
So here we go. There's our answer. 5 wide, empty backfield. Hurd's in the shotgun. Takes the snap, looks right away to the out route, and that is money in the bank, Coach Breece. That is money in the bank. It's number 11, Max Collins.
Max Collins, yeah. We've said his name multiple times. Wartress.
That's where you just run a yard past the sticks, Coach, and settle down, and that's exactly what happened.
You know, a lot of times in high school football, receivers don't do that. So give Max Collins a lot of credit knowing exactly where to go, and Hurd credit for getting him the ball in a timely manner again. And a good snap makes everything easier.
So when we go back to the first quarter, the Admirals had run out, and it was 3rd down, and he ran about 2 yards short of the marker, where good fake there. Hurd breaks contain on the outside and gets about 7 or 8, depending on where he steps out of bounds.
Well, Coach Rathbone, I was trying to send you an Aquaman telepathic message because I had been wanting that play all night. I felt like they were Franklin is really.
He heard you there.
They were really committing to the run off 1st down, and when Hurd, what I would call him an extra running back right there, tremendous job breaking tackles and getting 6-7 yards right there.
That was not an RPO. That was an RRO. There was no second option there.
No,
that was
not at all.
Run all the way there. So we got twins right. It's a snap to 14.
Hey, you know who that is.
That is our sophomore stud of the game, Walker, on the carry.
Or how about Cunningham?
Cunningham.
14. Check it, number 1 in your hearts.
But not number 1 on my roster list here.
No, Walker is number 7.
There we go. Walker is number 7.
7 times 2?
14. 2 touchdowns. Page has got 2 out right, 2 out left. Shotgun. Maxwell again. Not a benefactor of good blocking there. Quickly swallowed up there by the Admiral defense. So Franklin's in a bit of a position here. Paul, we're running towards the end of the 3rd quarter. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. Yep. Page is in.
So
they could field goal or touchdown here, and that would put Franklin in a 3-score deficit with about a quarter of football left to play.
Yeah, so
you got to get aggressive here. You got to try to make a play because this could, for all, unless everything breaks just right, could be a nail in the coffin right here if Page manages to put points on the board. So we have a toss left, lots of running room. This could be some significant trouble, but there is what on the field there, Paul?
Yep, and I tell you what, I think they may call a crackback block on the receiver.
Someone is down for the Patriots. We have a Patriot player down, and looks like he's in pain. That is number 35.
Yep. We'll see up top, the bottom of your screen right here, number 3 is going to just turn, and you can't hit a defenseless receiver like that. And
Brock Hogan.
And that's going to be the call on the plays. We saw that.
Yeah, and those penalties are designed for player safety. So you don't want to hit a defenseless receiver, especially in the era of concussions and that is, and you are dead right there. Blindside block. Got to protect the kids out there. But
Well, if you've ever been on the receiving end of one of those blocks, you love the rule.
Yes. You think there should be a game delay for a lightning strike, and it's just you laying on the ground, which I have had a few of those in my day. So 35 is back up on his feet. But I do believe, unless there's a timeout, he's going to have to come out for a play, and he is still on the field. And there he goes. 35 is off the field, but looking like he's all right, which is the important thing. So Page is backed up to the 30-yard line, which is a significant break for the Admirals defense, because if that penalty is not called, Paul, they have the ball on about the 3-yard line. So second and
this may
he's
be open.
Oh boy, 3 is.
Oh, what a
Great closing play by 19.
That's Alec Wartress.
Alec Wartress. He looked beat, Coach. He looked beat on that play, but he closed and got a hand up right there at the last second.
It'll be 3rd down and 26 yards to go.
So we're looking at 3rd down and 26, which, according to Waze, is as a crow flies on this one. So let's see what Rathbone has in his bag of tricks here for 3rd and 26.
Well, I say throw it to the end zone.
Well, it's like a good punt here, Coach.
Absolutely.
Just throw it up, let your receiver make a play. He rolls out to the right.
He's got him again.
Backside pressure, throws the out. Good inside move. Coach, this could be trouble.
Take it to the house, young fella.
That is a flag on the play,
Yeah.
Coach. It looks like there's going to be a hold.
There is a flag on the play.
Yep. Coach, I was wondering if they're going to throw it. Looks like there is some holding in the pursuit of the ball carrier, and this is going to come back.
Well, unfortunately, if you're a Patriot fan right here, you see, I thought Hurd was going to go down the seam, but he takes the out route and a nice broken tackle here. And going to check it out right at about the middle of the field.
We have some, looks like some
And
cramping.
a hold right there on 37. Kia Hamilton kind of gets locked up for a second. And
it's enough to bring that back, because that is going to be right in front of the official following the play. So if you're going to hold on a play, Coach, that is not the position you want to do it.
Well,
so now
Michael Mayer is owed an apology for that.
We may now be in a country mile territory.
I may think the Patriots go right back to that play. Pretty successful last time.
Well, they went with the out route, but this time he cut it back inside, which you're supposed to do. You take your jab step and then turn inside, because the defender's usually going to break outside on a tackle. So it's run perfectly, but unfortunately you had the hold there. So again, we're 5 wide in the shotgun. Lots of pressure, and that is going to be a huge play for the Admirals as the defensive line bats it down.
Yeah, number 8, Shane Sifford, the senior.
I'm going to wonder if there was some kind of screen call there, Coach, because the lineman walked into the backfield, and generally that doesn't happen unless there's a little bit of sneakerage going on.
Well, you are exactly right. It looks like a slip screen, wide receiver screen that was going to be set up, but Shane Sifford, the Admiral defensive end, thought otherwise. No, sir.
So good play to get your hands up and bat the ball down there. So here we are again, 4th and, well, about a third of the field to go here.
Quick kick by Hurd. Nope.
No, he's
going to let it loose.
He's going to toss it up.
Don't take a sack. You
Lots
can't
of
do it.
pressure, and he takes exactly that. Coach, that is a huge play because the Admiral defense looks gassed. Back-to-back players on the ground getting stretched out. So they are very pleased that that drive has come to an end.
Well, that was Colt. Wow, the senior linebacker on the pursuit and the sack. And, yeah, you look over here on the Admiral sideline and you see guys limping and just maybe cramping up.
Yeah, their uniform is a darker shade of the Admiral maroon that they're wearing down there because it is soaked from that long defensive stance. But kudos to the Admiral defense on the stop,
Absolutely.
benefited by 2 huge penalties. The unsportsmanlike and then the hold after that.
Well, this may be a timeout, Doug, that the Admirals wish they had back. I mean, you have a change of possession. You have your offense running out, and you have to use a timeout. It's going to be interesting to see if later on down the game when we hit into the fourth quarter, if this timeout call haunts them, because
Well, and I'll tell you, if you said, Coach Melton, you're going to be down 2 scores with about a quarter left to go, would he say, we can work with that? And the answer would probably be yes. So you never know what's going to happen in a high school football game. One play can make a huge difference. And so here we are. Franklin is going to have to get something going here on offense, as this is about to be the 7th consecutive quarter without points scored. So Page looks like they're just sitting back, and they are. They're in a zone coverage.
Dunn's pass is incomplete, intended for number 29, Jake Kerr.
well, give Dunn credit. The Admirals went quickly there with Jake Kerr running the slant pattern, 29, the junior.
Yeah, their front 7, their 4 linebackers, Coach, are just sitting back and they're playing in their zones. They are not necessarily concerned with the run at this point. And to their credit, their line has been stout. And so we'll see if they generate some pressure here. They do on the right side. There's pressure coming on the left. Quarterback breaks contain, but he is going to be taken down for a pretty big loss there on the play. A big sack there by the Patriot defense.
Well, that is probably the worst case scenario, Admiral fans. You cannot take the sack.
Well,
I've seen Jake Dunn just toss it out of bounds.
Well, and that is a 12-yard loss, Coach. As you say, that's of the scenarios that could happen there, that might have been, aside from a turnover, the last thing you could want there, because now we are 3rd and perhaps longer than a country mile and as far as the crow flies. That is the end of the 3rd quarter, Coach.
End of 3, our WCTV game of the week, Paul Breece, Doug Capella here at Franklin High School. Your score 14-0, Page Patriots. And what continues to be a defensive battle.
So, Paul, maybe it not be a good time to give our folks behind the scenes a little shout out for their work tonight, led by Creed Humphrey's crew.
Creed Henderson's crew.
Creed Henderson.
We'll call that a free pass for you.
That is, I will need
Lance
many
West
of those.
Yeah. Madison up here. You know, the good thing is, hey, we've continued to do this and brought this, Coach. I don't know how long you think the WCTV game of the week. This has been long happening years and years before I even was involved. In fact, we used to provide DVDs to all the fans that wanted a copy of the game.
Kids out there listening, a DVD is a silver disc that would play movies and things on it.
That's exactly right. So the integration of technology advancements, and now you don't need stuff like that. And again, always excited. We've never got to the VHS that I can remember. DVDs, though, that was a hot commodity back in the start of the WCTV game of the week.
Well, so here we are, start of the 4th. 12 fresh minutes for the Admirals here. They got 3 wide to the left.
Here they come.
Drops back.
Oh, just over there.
Hey, that was over the middle.
Yeah.
Not probably what the Patriots had expected there. The Admirals have not challenged the middle of the field all night. Maybe a bit of a surprise. The deep safety there had a look of confusion as there was an underneath route there.
Well, just slightly behind the intended receiver. Had to make an adjustment. Well, Saltmarsh has actually been has done really well in the punting game for the Admirals.
Good snap. Drops it, though.
Well,
Coach, that looked like it might have been tipped.
may have been.
So short punt. There's going to be a net 4-yard change in field possession from the marker. So Page is going to, again, have really good field position here to work with.
I think Coach Rathbone probably going to try to churn some of this clock here, a little Eric Hazard.
Yep, I was just going to say, the game plan's probably going to change here a little bit. Ball security is going to be of utmost priority.
See if we can get a clean handoff, get Hazard running downhill if you're a Patriot fan.
Motion coming across in front. You're exactly right. There goes Hazard. Ooh, breaks a tackle. Strong run by Hazard, Coach. Strong run. And, Coach, that was a quick pop of water for the Admiral defense.
Yeah, Eric Hazard, it's like he's kind of limping off. I think he may have a cramp. You know what helps cure cramps?
Pickle juice.
Pickle juice.
Made famous by Andy Reid and the then Philadelphia Eagles, playing a home game for the Dallas Cowboys when the field temperature was over 100 degrees. Why I remember that, Coach Breece, is because I'm from Philadelphia and I remember the game like it was yesterday.
Ian Arney on the tackle, as that's 14 Cunningham. Right up the gut for a big gain of about 7.
Coach, this is going to be an early season test for this Admiral defense of what they have left in the tank.
Now, do you continue to be an Eagles fan?
Well, that's a tricky question.
Did you cheer for them when they won the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Okay.
Coach, I still have family in Philadelphia.
There you go.
So here we go, 14 on the carry. That's Maxwell, or Cunningham, rather.
Convert of the first down. Here comes Fisher Anderson, the offensive tackle for the Admirals. Going to play a little defense right here.
Coach, you were right on the head there. Rathbone is just going to run it downhill here on a tired Admiral defense. Juice, and he's really actually not juicing a lot of the clock because they're getting chunks of yardage here. So the clock is running, but they are moving. Got motion again in front of the quarterback. Cunningham gets the ball, but the Admirals stout up front this time. Gives about a yard on the carry.
Well, there's one thing that in the Williamson County coaching community that they don't do. They don't ever try. I've never seen 2 Williamson County schools try to run it up on each other. Very, very.
You know, Coach Rathbone alluded to that today in the coaches show, that there's a certain esprit de corps, camaraderie amongst the Williamson County coaches. And I think that was on display here tonight. These 2 men have put their teams in a good position, and it's been a close game. Fumbles it out
but
of
it's going to be out of bounds. The catch.
Oh, Coach, 1 more yard, and that would have been a touchback.
Yep.
A huge break for the Patriots there as the ball fumbles away at about the 3/4 of a yard mark. Actually knocks the pylon over.
That was
there.
your first RPO, and a good block by the receiver right there gives Smith open yardage, and number
so there's
7
the
right
ball
there.
Right there at the little before the 1 yard line.
I'm shocked that this is not Eric Hazard country.
This is dangerous territory here for the Admirals. This is Brock there, down at the about 1 foot line. Coach, it's never over till it's over, but if the Patriots score here, the Admirals are in some trouble this evening, as we're just over the 9-minute mark left in the game, and the Admirals have not mustered much of an offensive threat this evening.
Well, Eric Hazard in the backfield.
Right to Hazard there, and the big fella looks like he might be in, but there's a huge pile there. All the players have called it.
That's right.
And now the official makes it official. Touchdown Hazard. That brings our score 20-0 in favor of the visiting Page Patriots here on the WCTV Game of the Week.
So an injury on the field, but You're talking about a worn-out Admirals defensive squad right there.
Yeah, Coach, I'm going to chalk that up to cramps. They're stretching him out on the field down there, and, you know, it's hard to stay hydrated for these players on these hot, humid nights. And that's pretty typical of these early football games in August.
Well, a little food for thought. You know, our pickle juice, we've gotten some insider information coming across the WebMD.
The Webosphere?
Yeah, it's amazing. It says, while it may relieve muscle cramps quickly, it's because you're dehydrated, lower in sodium. It's more likely because the pickle juice sets off a reaction in your nervous system that stops the cramps. How about that? Doesn't taste very good, though. Well, some people, you know what? When I go to Chick-fil-A, I get extra pickles.
I think I'll stick to the Gatorade, Coach.
Thanks to our medical insider for that quick tip of information about pickle juice. History learned on our WCTV Game of the Week.
Is it effective against COVID, Coach?
Not
Pickle juice.
Oh, we almost had a blocked
Oh.
extra point right there. All the way to the high jump pit.
There it is. Strong kick.
So we're going to see it right here. Everybody in the building knew Eric Hazard was going to get the ball. Hazard says,
Not a surprise, Coach.
yeah, nope. And he's going to just lean forward for the 2-yard touchdown.
Yeah, I was going to say he had to move the pile about 2 inches, and he moved the pile just that, 2 inches. The Patriots knew it was a touchdown. So if you're Coach Melton here, you're now in your 8th quarter of no offensive scores. What does practice look like next week, Coach?
Practice, you know what? You can try to build on what you can do, right? And you don't try to create something your players are not able to do. And just try to work over that as much as you can. I think defensively, they're in pretty good shape. I think they got a lot of guys out there running the ball, making plays offensively. I don't know if you need to get more creative or not, but what I do know is, I think they have a chance just to get better, and that's going to be quick.
Oddly enough, their worst starting field position on a kickoff.
That is absolutely right.
Their first one went back to the page, I think, about 40. There was 2 kicks out of bounds. And then their worst field position of the night, their own 30.
So here comes a new quarterback in the.
And there's a flag down.
Brown on the carry.
Looks like we had a player-to-player discussion behind the play.
Yeah, I think Fisher Anderson definitely with some extracurricular toward the end of that play on the defensive lineman for.
Well, and when you're a competitor, Coach, and you're down 21-0 in the fourth quarter, sometimes your emotions get the best of you.
So it looks like Cooper Brown, 16, is going to start taking the snaps at quarterback for the Admirals. 6'1", 160 junior, who we've mentioned offensively.
So totally different offensive set here, too, with the new quarterback in there. We got 2 out wide left, 2 out wide right. Shotgun formation, running back in the backfield to the quarterback's right. Snap is back. He rolls up. quickly tucks it away.
Well, here's an interesting thing right here. Jake Dunn, the starting quarterback for Franklin, was actually lined up at wide receiver, and Cooper Brown, who was originally the wide receiver, now at quarterback. So,
well, sometimes, Coach, that's a toss and then another toss. If anything, it's something that the defensive coordinator has to look at. Sometimes you get a throw out to the side, and then the quarterback will then throw it long. Now we got 3 wide to the right, single receiver set to the left, running back, quarterback in shotgun. Good snap, quarterback drops back. Rolls out right, still looking downfield. No options there, and he runs for what is still about 3 yards shy of the line of scrimmage.
well, not sure Cooper Brown is intending to throw the ball, but he is getting positive yardage.
Well, Coach, I would imagine Page is in some form of
3rd and 13.
cover 2 or cover 3, sinking 3 back deep as to not give up a long pass play here. Let's see what the safeties do if they're going to walk up, but it's 3rd and long. And so it looks like we may actually be in a man defense here with a deep safety, so a cover 1.
Here we go.
And he's going to be sacked, Coach.
That's not what you're looking for. Cooper Brown going to make it 4th down. And here comes the punter, Saltmarsh.
Not much of a decision here to go for it, Coach. It's 4th down and over 20. And so Coach Mellon's hands are kind of tied. So you got to put the punter out here, down 21-0, but with such a far yard to gain.
Casey Walker to single safety for Page.
So Casey Walker is going to be back deep for Page to possibly get a return here. Good snap.
High punt, but short. Fair catch. Cleanly caught at about the 45-yard line.
Fair caught at the Franklin 45-yard line.
Well, 5:53 here in our WCTV Game of the Week. Page leads 21-0 here at Franklin High School. Next week, Coach Capella, guess what? Centennial High School, should I say the undefeated Centennial High School Cougars, 2-0, travels down to Independence High School in your first trip to Independence. I could say that every week, right? Until it gets to a certain point.
Now
once I hit Summit, it's over.
Now, I have been to the Eagles games before. My daughters went through that awesome school down there off of Highway 840. And so that'll be an interesting homecoming for the now Centennial principal, Kevin Dyson, who was at Independence for a few years.
Yeah, it's
Dr. Kevin Dyson, the new head principal of Centennial High School.
Welcome home.
A welcome home of sorts for Dr. Dyson.
Crowder in on the stop for Franklin. Gain of 2 on the play, 2nd and 8.
Page still spreading it out here, but I can't imagine anything other than a run here.
By committee, and a new quarterback involved in the game as well.
Yep.
For Page.
So number 5 is the new quarterback for the Patriots.
Got to give him a shout out.
That is going to be Jonathan Palmer, the new quarterback in there, I believe.
How about?
I'm sorry, Walker.
No, you're right.
Yeah, Jonathan Palmer.
Yeah, the sophomore
is the new quarterback.
We had
the new running back there is William Weebush. Actually, he just took the snap, number 1. And he's got some room.
You're right. William
Weebush just took the snap there. So we are
the freshman quarterback. That one.
Quarterbacking by committee.
Absolutely. There we go.
And he is off the field.
He's off the field, moved the chains, did his job. Time to go on. And here comes Palmer.
So at quarterback again, we have Jonathan Palmer. with Brock Hogan in the backfield. Brock Hogan takes the handoff and breaks the first tackle. Coach, that's not what you want when you're a running back, is to take a handoff with a defensive tackle right in your face. We have
it's a tough play.
A player down here.
Yeah, immediately, and you knew something was wrong because even the Patriot linemen were kind of waving on the trainers at the time.
We just hope that he is not hurt, Coach. We're at the end of the game here, and what's 3:45 left, and you'd hate to see a player suffer some kind of serious injury here.
Yeah. Well, that's good. We're sitting up here. So let's take a peek here.
So he's up. Looks like he's holding his elbow potentially, but he's walking off on his own power, which is always a good sign.
Yeah. So for the 176 people watching, hey,
is that
thank you so much.
Is that up or down from last week, Coach?
Pretty consistent. By
All
the
right.
time it's all over with, we'll have a lot of views. Get to give them a thumbs up or a thumbs down of.
So for those
Coach
folks
Capella.
watching the program, we thank you. Coach, this has been a lot of fun.
Hey, it has been a lot of fun.
So Page is lined up with about 3 minutes and 40 left on the clock in what has been a one-sided game for the Patriots, up 21-0.
Broken play right here.
Brock Hogan still on his feet, running all up and down the field. Unfortunately,
Fumble.
he fumbles there, but he runs left and right, not north and south.
And
the
23, Van Crawford, Johnny on the spot on the recovery.
Page has been a benefactor of a few plays that have broken their way also this evening. Coach, you had the ball that nearly fumbled into the end zone, which would have been a touchback, wiping a touchdown off. And that there where their fumble was there, you had a few Franklin defenders. But the Patriots come up. It's 3rd and 9. Again, spread out. Brock Hogan in the backfield. I can't imagine the ball going anywhere else. He gets it up the middle, has some room, and is going to have a first down.
Huge conversion. And now with 2:30 left, Doug, it's
not much
Katie
the
bar to the
Admirals
door.
can do here.
Yeah. But, you know, with the play clocks not working on both end zones, it's kind of, being counted on the back judge now. Page really doesn't know
how much time they
how
have,
much time they really have
how much time they can run off the clock or not. So, yeah, they're coming out, and you can watch his hand count down the seconds, but you have a young quarterback in there as well.
Who in fact, who didn't even know the play.
Fakes the wrong way, but looks like he is going to score anyway.
Well, that's Weebush, the freshman, and a late flag coming in.
There's a flag on the play.
Weebush garnering compliments from his coaching staff, coming in and getting some action here on this Friday afternoon in what is early football season.
Hold it. Offense, number 9. 5-yard penalty, 5-yard penalty.
Well, a holding call away from the play.
That's going
wipes
to be
out the touchdown. As we see Weebush right there, going to finish the run. And what he thought was his first varsity touchdown.
Weebush may unfriend him later this week.
That is a funny statement you've made. It's funny how the friend groups are formed nowadays.
Coach, it's a good weekend. We have the game of the week tonight. We have college football
back
starting up. The NFL is back, so for the football appetite is being quenched this weekend. Again, we got Brock.
Oh, my.
Sticky fingers. Hogan there. Coach, he pirouetted and fumbled at the same time going into the end zone.
Absolutely. That would be a travel in basketball.
That would be. Or a self-pass, one or the other.
Well, I'm sure we're going to catch a replay of that, but that is a tremendous
He maintained good eye contact on the
Absolutely.
football, Coach.
Brock Hogan, the sophomore.
My football coach would never forgive me for saying this, but when you have the humidity that you do this evening, it creates a slick surface on the football, which can definitely make it hard to grip. My football coach, however, would say that's nonsense. Nevertheless, it is true.
He said you can never prove him wrong
No.
when your team fumbled 4 times in a game.
He actually may message me this evening on my phone. And
So here we go. We're seeing Hogan.
here's the
And
replay.
whoop,
There's
whoop.
the ball.
Excuse me,
And-
Mr. Referee.
Yep.
Touchdown, Hogan.
Has the spin move, the fumble, the touchdown.
So your football coach messaged you.
He could, yes.
We'll see it again right here. This is a huge play, Doug. When they replay it twice, we'll see Hogan. Simple run. Makes it a little more difficult, but the result is the same.
My coach would chime in and say, Capella, give me 20 up downs for that. So here we go. The Admirals are on the field to take the return. Page still huddled up. 1:41 left in what has been a one-sided football game, unfortunately, here in the home of the Admirals. Page was tough this evening. Strong defense all around and an offense that capitalized on some beneficial field position, some turnovers. You just have to wonder if Franklin was healthy, would it be a different game?
Right, you're exactly right.
There's the
it's a good
pooch
play.
kick that Page has utilized for ever since the first kickoff
That's right.
when they were almost burned for a touchdown.
The Page kick is recovered by number 29, Jake Curry.
So we got 1:33 here. Looks like a whole slew of backup Admirals are in the game with the exception of our big fella.
Yeah, Fisher Anderson.
Fisher Anderson still out on the field. Probably because he told the coach no. He's going to go out on the field regardless.
So actually, it looks like Jake Dunn, the starting quarterback, back at quarterback, and Cooper Bean, who went in earlier, just the last series at quarterback. Dunn on the.
So Dunn has it. Gets about 7 yards to the outside on a design quarterback run.
Caden Walker runs him out of bounds. Danny Center on the play, second
if I was
and 3.
the Admirals, I would see what I could do.
Down to 1:20 left on the clock. Handoff up the middle. And Page with a wave of mostly second team defenders on defense
Modell.
makes the play on there. A host of Patriot tacklers.
Jackson Modell on the carry.
We got 3rd and short here for the Admirals. Clock is under a minute.
Play 3rd and 2.
Game's been decided. Patriots will move to 2-0 on the season. And Franklin will move to 0-2. Back for the pass. Throws it out. It is bobbled and dropped.
Yeah, that was done to Cooper Brown, who we've seen multiple spots in offense, including quarterback.
Cooper Brown throwing it back to the official. Nice tight spot rule there, Coach. So 4th and short, 24 seconds on the game clock here. Patriots getting a host of young defenders in there. Shotgun snap. 2 receivers either side. Handoff up the middle. It's a first down. And he is tackled by a gang of Patriots there at about the 48-yard line. Clock continuing to run up. Timeout looks like on the field here. No.
Well, they're
the ball's been
change,
spotted.
yeah.
Clock running down. 3, 2, 1, and that is the end of the ball game, Coach. WC TV Game of the Week. Page Patriots 28, Franklin Admirals 0.
Oh, for Paul Breece and Doug Capella, it has been the Page Patriots 28-0 here at Franklin High School. And we will see you. Thank you for joining us on our YouTube live stream. We'll see you next week as the Centennial Cougars come down and travel against the Independence Eagles. Have a good weekend.